Welcome to our first episode in the new Gonzo's Cocktail Creation Studios. How you guys like it? It's nice, right? Thanks, appreciate it. Today we're gonna have a lovely episode, perhaps my favorite one yet. We're doing a Mezcal tasting / little Mezcal education. Don't get me wrong, I am by no stretch of the imagination a Mezcal expert, but I know a little bit. I've been studying the last few months, so let me tell you a little bit about Mezcal. Mezcal is any spirit distilled from agave, but it also has to be distilled in certain regions of Mexico. So the difference here between mezcal and tequila is that tequila has to be one specific type of agave, the blue agave. Mezcal, on the other hand, you can use any type of agave and you can distill it in more parts of Mexico. With that being said, just like wine, there's many varietals. Wine, you may have a Cabernet, you may have a Pinot Noir. With mezcal, you can have Espadín, Tobalá, Madre Cuiche, the list goes on and on. So let's get into it, there's a ton to learn. So before we get to tasting, let me just tell you a little bit about some of these bottles we have in front of me, because this shit might look kind of bootleg, right? It's not, it's firsthand. I got it directly from the guy who made it, so it's awesome. When I was in Oaxaca, I went on a mezcal tour with a guy named Randall Stockton. He works for a place called Mezcal Education. He took me out on this beautiful tour. The names you see on these labels are actually the guys who made the mezcal, and I got to meet them all, and they're all awesome, and they're experts at what they do, and they work super hard to make these delicious products. So let's get into the main event, the tasting. First mezcal we're going to taste is the Espadín. This is made by a guy named Felix Angelis. It's made with the Espadín plant, which is the most commonly used agave plant in mezcal. Went for 500 pesos, which is about 20 US dollars. Let's give it a taste. Ooh, nice heavy pour to start. On the nose, I'm getting some nice cooked, thoroughly cooked agave. Of course it's mezcal, right? But this is the first thing I'm getting. It seems like a real natural essence of the agave plant. And this is why I went with this one first, because it's just, I don't want to call it basic, but a pure example of what mezcal tastes like. Nice agave, nice smoke, a little bit of sweetness, nice weight on the palate. Classic mezcal, a good entry point and a good place to start for our tasting. Moving on. From there, we're going to go to our Madre Cuiche. When I bought this bottle, honestly, I didn't really know what I was getting. I had never heard of a Madre Cuiche before, but I was on my way to learning more about it. When I tasted this one, I was shocked, because I have never tasted mezcal that tastes anything remotely close to this. We love heavy smoke on the palate as Americans, and that's what the Mexicans typically send up to us. This right here is something completely different. So a few more fun facts before we taste this Madre Cuiche. This is a little bit more rare mezcal to find. It's part of the Karwinski family. These plants take about 8 to 25 years to reach maturity, and the yield isn't much. You don't get too much mezcal out of these plants. Let's taste it. Yeah, this thing is different, man. This is so earthy and vegetal. It's delicious, interesting. I've been working with it in cocktails. It's very distinctive, so I work with it in small doses. Haven't figured it out just yet. Maybe a little gin with this, maybe a little cucumber with this. I got something in the works. Get into some fun stuff here. This is herb-infused mezcal. We'll call it that. Start with the Yerba Buena. Let's go ahead and give it a taste, and I'll let you guys know. On the nose, kind of like a fresh cut grass. On the palate, a little bit more dark tasting than that. Now I'm tasting a little bit more pine trees, a little bit more dark green flavors. Maybe this herb might put you to sleep. Might be one of those sort of herbs, maybe that style of herb. On to part 2 of the herb-infused mezcals. Let's give it a sniff. This one smells bright green to me. Let's give it a taste. The palate is the same. Perhaps lemony notes. Really nice, actually. Summer day over some rocks. I'm with it. Fresh, delicious, and herb infused. My style. Moving on. We are on to our third and final herb infused mezcal. This one is not infused with the same herb as this one. This one has 14 different herbs. The maestro wouldn't tell me what they were, but let's taste it and see if I can figure it out. Smells minty fresh. I think in the morning I might start doing this. Instead of mouthwash, I'm gonna go with this. Very minty, very fresh. You know when you bite into that dentine, you feel like you can blow out a fucking glacier? That's how my mouth feels right now. Next, we have our añejo. The fuck? Ah, shit, I forgot. I got carried away on Super Bowl Sunday and crushed the entire añejo. Anyway, it was barrel aged, smooth as a baby's bottom. You could tell by the fact that it's empty. So we're moving on to our first pechuga. There'll be more down the line. Let me tell you what a pechuga is. Basically, on the third distillation, they will add fruits, spices, or herbs to enhance the flavors. They also hang a raw chicken over the top of the pot while this distillation happens. It's an ancient thing. They've been doing it forever. I'm not going to question it. The drinks are pretty delicious, so why would I? What the fuck do I have to say? Nothing. I just drink the mezcal. Let's go for it. This pechuga happens to be very sweet. If you're not really into mezcal, this is a hell of a place to start because this will warm you up. Very light. I could probably swig the rest of this bottle right now if I'd like, but I'm not going to do that. Rose, this is for you. Enjoy that sweetness. We're down to our final four. Let's get into this Tobalá pechuga right here. This is made by the same guy over here, Fortunato. So not only is it a Tobalá, which is very prized agave, but it's also a pechuga. So there's a lot of effort put into this. The Tobalá only yields a small amount of mezcal, and then the pechuga, that extra distillation process. So they put a little elbow grease into this one. Let's see if it shows in the taste. Yeah, this is fantastic. Very full mouth feel. Feels like velvet on your tongue. A nice smoke. Very complex. I give this a solid 9.8. Moving on to what I would say is the fan favorite right here. The Café y Chocolate Mezcal made by Mezcal Maestro Don Celso. On the nose, when you smell this, before you taste it, you know this is good. And then on the palate, it's right there with it. The flavor profile is so authentic. If you like chocolate and you like mezcal, you need this. Next up is our Sotal. Sotal is interesting because Sotal is not actually made from agave. It's a close relative. Let's taste it. Okay, so when I taste this, I see a clear distinction between a mezcal and this Sotal, because with this there's no smoke, but you get a nice rich sweet flavor. Margarita with the Sotal and you are set. Last and certainly not least, actually my favorite, our barrel aged pechuga. This thing costs 1,700 pesos. I think that's about $70 or so. One of the better investments I've ever made. Let's give it a taste. I don't know what to say. This is hands down the best mezcal I've ever tasted. Cinnamon is one of the first things I taste, and for me, that you win. If you got cinnamon in your drink, you win. Except for Fireball, fuck you. It's like a cocktail in itself. It's like a cocktail in itself. That's going to be the end of Gonzo's Cocktail Creations. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Let me know if you have any more questions about mezcal. I might have the answer, I might not. Gonzo's Cocktail Creations. See you soon. Bye.